Hello everyone and welcome to Pablo Escobar's videos episode number 5. This is going to be the 5th entry in my vlog series, and we're going to start off by just closing out the end of season 24. This is a little bit disjointed because I got it thrown when the season suddenly got cut off. But anyway, so starting with the final round or final week, our first matchup of the round was in round number 1 against Wolfrost69, who was a Sith Eternal Emperor push. And when just reviewing the defenses, we saw that my General Grievous team was able to get one defensive hold. So we started off with the first round going up against his Geos with my standard Sith Triumvirate counter, and we were able to net up 74 banners with that. So eventually I'm going to get around to getting Terra up to gear 13, but it's just a bit of a lesser for priority at the moment. Then decided to go up against his General Grievous team, and earlier in the week I'd had a territory battle where I'd mistakenly got trigger happy with Revan's marked and thrown it onto the Magna Guard and then triggered Grievous. So I held off here a bit until Revan could get a turn and then focused in on Grievous to get him out of the way. This was done with a team that didn't have Hermit Yoda's protection recovery, which I was only able to zeta later on in the week. But hopefully now we're able to get a bit more cleaner battles with that ability. We then went up against a CLS team using the Empire team. And this was a little bit messy because of all the counterattacks that we got from the CLS lead, and eventually netted 61 banners against them. Then gave the Bounty Hunters a chance at some redemption against this First Order team, and they were able to cleanly net a 65 banner win, which was quite helpful. We then went up against their Bounty Hunters with a bit of a mismatched team, so I'm not really sure where to put any of these heroes at the moment. I think Shakti and Ayla Secura will eventually go into a Qui-Gon led team. Ventress at some point will filter into a Night Sister team, and I'm currently working on trying to unlock Wampa for the Jedi Knight Luke event, which I'm planning on doing sometime next year. But maybe he'll fit into this with Wat Tambor, and we'll have like a team that's able to get off quite a lot of counter attacks then. That's still to be seen. We then decided to go with our faithful Imperial Troopers against the Night Sisters and clean up with a neat 65 banner win there as well. Then came probably the best highlight of this round, was using my General Anakin Skywalker team and my Padme Cat to be able to push through against the Sith Eternal Emperor. Obviously Gas is not very well suited for this. Once his protection is diminished by C, he just kneels and is completely useless for the rest of the round. And then it's pretty much just the clones having to try and go up against this monster, which I need to work on getting, and that's the goal for this year, is to try and unlock C. But I think the main thing would be to try and use him on offense rather than defense, and this was actually quite exciting to be able to beat him with this team. Previously when I attempted this, I tried to use Padme and Cat first and then use Gas to follow up later, but obviously that was never going to work. So I thought, let's try it the other way around, use Gas to get rid of all of the other distractions with the rest of C's team, and then just focus in with the Cat Padme team to whittle C down. So we'll try that a bit more and see if it becomes more consistent. When we came to fleets, then we were able to secure a fleet win and basically walked on to the first full clear of this last week of the Grand Arena Season 24. But during this fight I also realized that this Malevolence team that I've got, it's always going to come up short in banners because there's no way to really recover protection too well in this team. And with that in mind, I'm thinking of just putting them rather on defense for that, purely for that reason. Using the Negotiator, I'm able to recover some banners to some extent, and it helps you with the protection recovery and the health recovery, and you're able to get slightly better scores. So I'm thinking of still keeping them on defense, but with the new updates coming out with the new Finalizer tank ship, the TIE Echelon, I'm really interested to see how the Finalizer would work as an offensive ship. So maybe once that's unlocked in one of the subsequent weeks in Season 25 of the Grand Arena, I can try using the Finalizer team. But yeah, first full clear against Wolfrost69. Then went up in the second round against Phantom Menace, who was an SLKR account, and his GP was more or less identical to mine, but he had a very highly focused roster with quite a lot of very solid, very good teams that were reliced up quite highly. So in addition to his SLKR, there was quite a lot of random Rebel teams in here, some Jedi Knight Revan as well. So I was a little bit apprehensive about this. I think he seems like he's going for a Jedi Master Luke as his next push with the Jedi Training Ray and all those rebels that he had geared up. But this looked like quite a formidable defense, and I was a little bit uneasy about it in the beginning. but it seemed like he'd taken his SLKR on offense and had been able to clear mine with 2 hits. So I figured in order to win this we'd have to be exceptionally neat and tidy here. So I started off going up against his Geos using the Sith Eternal Emperor again, and pretty standard counter, and we were able to net 74 banners as a win here. Our second battle was then against the Jedi Training Ray team, and this team I was very uneasy about because Jedi Training Ray and the veteran Han were both at relic 7. But in theory it should have worked out, and I'm really happy that it did. We basically fractured Rey to prevent her from going wild with the debuffs, etc. Took out the rest of the team and were able to stun lock everyone with Palpatine and Mara Jade. The benefit of leaving Vet Han for last was that because he's so high relic and so tanky, it took a little bit of time to get through him, but he remained stun locked for most of that time. But it gave more than enough time to help with banner and health recovery to net a nice 65 banner win against him. Then we went up against the Ewoks with a standard nest counter, and this was pretty straightforward as well. My nest is still at gear 12 with I think 2 pieces of gear attached currently, so requiring 4 more to get up to gear 13. And probably after the Sith Eternal Emperor push, and then after getting maybe Terra up, I might look at pushing Nest through to a few relic levels. But trying to set out on a Galactic Legend gearing rush is quite daunting because I'm starting to run out of the lower level relic materials. We then went up against the Scoundrel team and gave the redeemed bounty hunters another shot at a big time contract here. And they did not disappoint. We were able to clear this out quite neatly. A few moments of being a little bit on the fence with Aura Singh looking like she might just get blitzed into oblivion, but they were able to clear up with 65 banners as well. There was then this mismatched Seppi team that really of concern was this very high relic Wampa, I think it was relic 5 or so. But we were able to easily beat this team. The only problem is that there's a lot of banner snipers here, the Grievous, the Wampa, and obviously Newt with his shenanigans. So we came away with 62 banners in the end. Then going up against the Night Sister team, we decided to use the Imp Troopers again since they are fairly consistent and have always netted me a nice 65 banners. Then went up to the top wall, and against this First Order team we decided to take my General Anakin Skywalker 501st team, and this was also able to be cleaned up very nicely with a easy 65 banner win as well. So all in all we were able to get 4 65 banner wins and not have to drop any battles, and fleets were able to be cleaned up quite easily as well, which led to our second full clear for the round, and also being able to comfortably beat Phantom Menace. So for round 3 we came up against Mini Darth Bustily. Again, started off with the Geo counter using the Sith Triumvirate, and were able to net 75 banners here. Decided to take the Empire team out against the CLS team again, and this time unfortunately we were only able to net up 61 banners, but maybe with a few more gear levels in each of the characters. Thrawn is going to have to be geared up to relic 6 I think for Sith Eternal, and Darth Vader is going to go up to relic 7, and I think he would be also my next Zeta for the next coming week. So our next matchup was against the General Anakin Skywalker team, and here we went in with this Padme Cat team, and this was a very dicey battle. It was way too close. the high relic on 5s was virtually impossible to take down, and I felt that trying to blitz out anyone else would just trigger the sacrifice and make subsequent attempts a lot harder. So I just decided to focus in on 5, used Commander Osako Tano's Force Leap to obliterate him, and then came the difficult task of trying to put down Relic 7 General Anakin Skywalker again and take down the rest of the clones, which eventually we were able to sort of do, I guess, but it was definitely not a pretty battle. He just obliterated the rest of the Padme team, and then I had to come in again with my Jedi Knight Revan team to finish up the job. But the counter-attacks that he threw out dished a huge amount of damage, and it was very dicey, especially since there was no option of banner recovery from my Hermit Yoda. I then decided to use my own Gas 5 first team against his General Grievous team, and I mean, I can kind of see why. Also, Gas would be preferable to put on defense. I mean, he's a very solid defense that's hard to take down, but he doesn't really have a lot of banner recoveries, and you always come up short. Maybe something to consider. Anyway, I walked away from that battle with 58 banners, then decided to go up against the Ewoks with the standard nest counter to pick up another 68 banners again, and this went off pretty much the same as the previous one. This unfortunately was never going to be a full clear battle, since we were versing another SLKR account and he had his SLKR on defense, and I didn't really have anything strong enough to put that aside, especially since he had a very highly geared, very high relic gas team that required Padme, and a high relic General Grievous team that I needed gas to break through. But I think it worked out better than trying and potentially failing on the attempt of trying to take out SLKR with both of those teams. I then used the troopers to get a neat 65 banner win against this Phoenix team left over on the back wall. So overall for Season 24, at the end of this, I've been promoted up from Chromium 4 at the start of the season to Erodium 3 at the end, and going into Season 25 it's quite daunting because I've got nowhere near the roster. I'm kind of like K2SO at the moment with this.
There's a 26% chance of failure.
How much further? I don't know, I'm not sure. I never really come this way. We're close. We're close, I know that.
Well, now there's a 35% chance of failure.
I don't want to know. Thank you.
I understand.
My roster, I don't think I've got enough teams at the moment, so maybe after the first week or so I'm probably going to get bumped down to Chromium, which I'm at the moment okay with because I need a lot more time to build up more teams. But if I happen to stay around there, cool. If I lose a few, that's also fine. The crystal payouts should be more than worth it. Over the course of the season, my skill rating has gone up from 2407 to 2760, increased by 353, and my average score has been about 1088. I've got 7 full clears, and the defensive champions so far have been the Ewoks and SLKR's First Order team. If we then look over the account update, my galactic power over this past week has increased by another 60,000 up to 3.69 million. Currently my relic farming plan, so I've completed farming the Arc Trooper to relic 5, Rex is already at relic 5, and I'm currently working on getting General Veers from relic 2 through to relic 3 for the Sith Eternal Emperor unlock. I think after that I'm probably going to work on Jedi Knight Anakin, who's already at relic 5, and try and round him out to relic 7 and see how that goes. I am struggling a little bit with relics because I'm trying to run out of the lower tier gear stuff, like the the carbonite circuit boards, etc. My Gear 13 project for this coming week is going to be Admiral Piet, who as of the time of this video is at Gear 12 with 3 pieces complete and requires 3 more pieces. I don't have anyone at Gear 11 at the moment, so my next Gear 12 target would be the Dart Trooper, who is currently at Gear 9 with 4 pieces completed. Apparently from March or so, Dark Trooper is going to be on a double farm accelerated schedule, and the login reward is going to be Dark Trooper as well, which will help quite a lot. My current energy farms are Dark Trooper, Mon Mothma, IG-11, working towards unlocking Beskar Mando with a view to get the Executor next year, the IG-2000 to round out that Executor's bounty hunter team, and the Vulture Droid to fit in better into my Malevolence squad. I was able to award 2 Zetas this week because of the End of Conquest as well as the payouts from the Grand Arena, and that went to Hermit Yoda's Strength Flows Through the Force from the Force to be able to improve my banner recovery with the Jedi Knight Revan team, as well as giving the Zeta to Iden Verso's first in, last out, and to try and get that Inferno squad working now as a defensive team. I'm currently at 17 out of the 20 Omicrons, and the next Omicron I think is also going to go to Iden Verso. I think it's We Adapt or We Die. and we will see how that works out. Hopefully they're going to give the Ewoks a contention for being the best defensive team in my Grand Arena schedule. So that's it for the account update and the end of this video entry for vlog number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks so much for watching. So with the season 25 coming out, I'm going to try and stream most of those battles on my Twitch account. The link for that will be in the description below. But again, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video and are interested in seeing what else is coming up ahead. And if you have any other comments about how I could improve my account or things I could do differently, please feel free to share. I'm really happy to get other perspectives and see how else I can improve. So this is great. Thanks so much for joining me to this video, and cheers. See you in the next vid. Take care.